Hi guys, welcome back to Dice Down Gaming. Today's video is on Warmachine Mark 4, how to get into the game, and what all the new terms mean. I myself played a lot of Mark 2. I played into a little bit of Mark 3, and then the game fell off locally for me. Coming back into Mark 4, I wasn't quite sure what models had rules and what didn't, what is legal and what's not, and what a lot of the new terms mean, like Prime or Legacy or a command box or a cadre box. And my goal today is making that a little bit clearer. Quick bit on my tech. I've learned how to share my screen and put myself in the corner of the screen. So technology-wise, progress is being made. But let's begin with what is Prime and what is Legacy. So one of the questions I hear it asked a lot is, can I use my own models? And can I use my old models? And the answer is absolutely yes. If we go to the app, you can download this on a desktop or a smart device, and we go to cards. What we'll see is these are the Mark IV factions here, and what you'll see down here is you have a selection of Legacy Mark III Army and Prime Mark III Army. Now, if we go to build a force, this will demonstrate the difference between those two. So if I build a legacy Crix force, you can see a lot of S's in Crix, so I should have chosen another faction really. But here we are. We can see legacy Crix contains all of the Crix options and all of the mercenary options for that army. So if you were to build a legacy army, you could build an army completely out of your collection. If you've got the whole collection, you can pick anything you want and make any combinations you want. If you go back to cards, you can see there's also prime armies for Griggs. There's prime Black Fleet and prime Dark Host. So if we now go and create a prime Black Fleet army, what you'll notice is your choice is now restricted to a few warcasters, which will fit the theme of Black Fleet. Your warjacks are limited, your solos are limited, your units are limited, etc., to models that fit the theme of Black Fleet. So the term legacy simply refers to the whole collection. You can use what you want in any combination. Yes, everything still does have rules. Every single warcaster, solo, warjack, etc., still has rules and still is available to play. However, most tournaments will be prime tournaments. And what that will mean is you're required to make an army list with the tagline prime to play in that tournament. So if you want to attend Mark IV tournaments and you have an old Mark III army, the answer is yes, you absolutely can. But what you're likely be required to do, is create an army from one of the prime selections. Most Mark III armies have two prime selections. Actually, looking at it, I think it's right to say, apart from Grimkin and Convergence of Sirius, all the Mark III armies have two prime selections. So if you've got an old Mark III, Mark II collection, and you want to pick up the game and play, you've got two options. If you and your buddy are happy to play, you can make army lists from Legacy, and that will let you use everything out of your Mark III collection in any combination, all the mercenaries, no problem. However, if you decide you're going to play a prime army, what you're then doing is you've got a selection of two prime armies for the old Mark III stuff, and if you're Grimkin, you've got one prime army, and you're going to reduce your selection to a certain theme, for example, Black Fleet for Crix, but that will mean you're playing a format that is supported by privately pressed / Steam for games, in the sense that prime armies are going to be receiving updates and they're going to be supported. Legacy armies, as in just mixing everything you'd like, isn't going to be something that privately pressed / Steam Force games actively try to balance. Quickly to show you what that looks like when you're building a force. When you click to build a force and you click create force, what you're going to see is the two choices, and it does say here that prime are armies for the current version of Warmachine, and legacies are armies and legends from Warmachine past. That's a bit misleading because you can still play prime with your Mark 3 armies. But as I said before, your army is just going to be limited in what it can use. So hope that clears up for you what Legacy is and what Prime is. One difference from Mark 3 to Mark 4 is when we go to cards, what you'll see here is that there are factions for Crix and Signar and Dusk, but what you play now when you in terms of going to a steamroller is you're going to play an army list. So if I attend a steamroller under Signar as a Mark 4 Signar army, I can make two lists from Gravediggers, or I can make two lists from Storm Legion. I can't take one list from Storm Legion and one list from Gravediggers. They're both the same faction. You just need to pick one army list and you play it from that. So I hope for that helps clear up for yourself what the term legacy means and what the term prime means and what you can use both of them armies for. Now in terms of buying into the game, what do all of the new terms mean? There's quite a lot of new boxes in terms of command, auxiliary, etc. We're going to take a look at what all those different boxes mean. So this is a really nice infographic that I found. I don't know who made this, so credit to anyone who did make it. But this will break down to you what the new boxes are and what they give you. So first of all, if you are looking into buying into a faction, you haven't got any of it, you like the look of say Mark 4 Kador, the biggest box is the core expansion. This is a variety of of a warcaster, or in Horde's warlock. You're going to get a couple of units, a couple of solos, and a heavy. And just as an example, this is the Kador core expansion. So if you hadn't got any models for Kador and you wanted to jump in, a core expansion is an option, and it's probably the biggest way to get points fastest. That's terrible English. It's the box which has the most points in one go. So that's what you got as a core expansion. Then what you have are auxiliary expansions. These boxes are quite quite big in what you get as well. And for example, this is a Kador auxiliary expansion, and what you're going to get there is you can get another leader, so you can get another warcaster. You're probably going to get a variety of units that fit the theme of the auxiliary expansion, and you're probably going to get a few solos. So if you wanted to go head in, head first, jump into a faction and got a core expansion and an auxiliary expansion, you've now got a couple of different leader models, quite a range of units and solos, but you might be looking a bit cohort light, Warjack slash Warbeast light, because in these two boxes, you're only getting one cohort model. So what you might want to do then is look for a battle group box. What a battle group box gives you is another leader. So you've got a third leader now, and it's going to give you two cohort models. So it's going to give you two more Warzaks and or Warbeasts. It's worth noting that often the battle group boxes are cheaper than buying the two Warbeasts slash Warzaks separately. So if you are after these Warjacks and Warbeasts, it's probably worth buying a battle group box rather than buying them separately. And then lastly, what we've got are things called cadres. What cadres do is they're going to work for both of the sub factions in a big faction. So this command cadre here is expected to work for Old Umbre and Winter Corps in Kador. So that will give you another leader, so another warcaster or warlock, a character unit, a character solo, and another cohort model, which is normally a character cohort associated with the cadre. So, for example, Signar's cadre with Alistar Kane, Deuce, Black 13, and Fawkes will work for both Storm Legion and Gravediggers, and that's all themed around gun mages. Cadre are sort of mercenaries within a overall faction that will work for whoever side of Kador, And for example, Kane will work for whoever he needs to work with in Signal. Other things that you can buy, there are command cadre, which are a 30-point box that will give you a war, a leader, a cohort, a unit, a solo, and normally another solo. This is a standalone 30-point box, and if you were looking to start the game, you didn't want to jump in, say, the core expansion or auxiliary expansion, the command cadre or the command starter, both would work well. Uh, So the command cadre that works for both for two forces, that is 30 points, and the command starter is 30 points also, but that won't be across the two mini factions of your faction. Other things that you can look to grab, maybe once you have got a box or two and you've enjoyed the game, you've obviously got your colossals and your gargantuans. These are really suited to 75 points or 100 points, so maybe give the game a go before you look at them. We've got extra large mercenary cohorts. You've got Lord Carver and you've got Magnus. These slot into a lot of the armies, and the cohort models are actually super heavy, so they're 80 millimeters. Currently, Orgoth and Chimera have an 80 millimeter War Beast and a solo, and obviously you've got your mercenary solos, which work for a faction or two. So that's really the current range and what all the boxes currently mean. So I hope that helps you decide if you are going to jump in, what you might buy, what's most useful for you, and also helps you understand the legality of Prime and Legacy. Thank you all for tuning in today. I'm really enjoying the process of making the videos and engaging with people I've not spoke before. And I hope I see you back for the next one. Thank you very much.